and welcome to Classroom Teaching. I am Shekhar. Students, in last year we have seen about the image formation by concave mirror, and we have seen some concepts which are related to the reflection by concave mirror or which are related with the spherical mirrors. Let us see, or let us first think about these concepts. This diagram is given in the book and few questions are asked. Try to answer these questions. Try to write the answers of the question in the notebook. What is center of curvature? What is focus of a concave mirror? What is pole P of a concave mirror? What is radius of curvature? So we can easily see here center of curvature C, pole P, radius of curvature, then here must be focus, this must be the principal axis. So all these concepts that we already know, we learned it in 9th standard. We learned it for spherical mirrors. In this chapter, we are going to see all these concepts with respect to or related to the lenses. Students, we know many applications of lenses. The spectacles that we use, आपल्याला माहिती आहे, to read anything we require spectacles, or the old persons they require spectacles. Then the lenses that we can see to the persons who repair watch repairers, that is also the application that we know. The lenses, we may see the lenses in telescopes, or we may see it in microscope also in our school. So I have a very small microscope here. It is also a microscope, very small microscope. In it also we can easily see the two lenses are used here. So there are so many applications of the lenses. We know that, and we use that lenses in our daily life also. The lens is embedded in the front door also to see outside. So there are so many applications that we know. But what is lens? How can we define lens? So lens, it is nothing but the transparent medium bounded by two surfaces. Any transparent medium bounded by two surfaces. And if both these surfaces are spherical and bulging outward, that means puffing outward, that is nothing but a convex lens. Both the surfaces, they are spherical, bulging outwards, that is nothing but a convex lens. Look, this is a convex lens. We can easily see it is thicker at the center and thinner at the edge. That means at the edge it is very thin and at the center it is thick. So that is nothing but convex lens, or it is also called as double convex lens or biconvex lens. The second type of lens that we use in our daily life, that is nothing but concave lens. So how we can define it? If both the surfaces of the lens, they are forced inside, that means they are inside, it is called as concave lens or biconcave lens or double concave lens. These double concave lenses, I have one concave lens here. It is thicker at the edges than the center. That means it is thinner at the center and thicker at the edges. Just by keeping it on our hand, we can easily say whether it is convex or concave lens. So there are so many types of lenses, but out of all these types, this year we are dealing with, or we are going to study about only two types of lenses, and these two types are biconvex and biconcave. If the surfaces are bulging outward, it is biconvex. If the surfaces are bulging inward, then it is biconcave. Instead of saying bi, we can say convex and concave lens. So, how these lenses are formed? Both the surfaces of the lens, they are spherical. That means they are the part of a sphere. Let us see. So, suppose this is first surface of a lens, this is second surface of a lens, and this shaded area, it is nothing but lens, which is made up of two spheres, glass spheres, or transparent medium is there. So, this first surface of the sphere, it is the part of a sphere. This surface of the lens, it is the part of a sphere. Suppose this is S1, part of a sphere S1. This second surface of the lens, it is the part of the second sphere. Suppose this sphere is S2. So this is nothing but convex lens. Similarly, we can draw a concave lens also. So concave lens and both the surfaces of the lens, how they are formed? Suppose these are the two spheres, again similarly, and the shaded area, it is nothing but a concave lens. Suppose this is first surface of the concave lens. Suppose this is first surface, this is second surface. So this first surface of a concave lens, it is the part of a sphere, suppose S1. And this second surface, it is the part of the lens, it is the part of a sphere, suppose S2. So, in this way we can easily say that both the surfaces of both the lenses, they are the part of the spheres. Understood? Now let us see the terms related to the lens. Concave and convex lens. कोणत्या कोणत्या टर्म्स बघायच्या? The first term that we are going to see, it is center of curvature. Center of curvature. What is center of curvature? It is the centers of the spheres of which the lens or the surfaces of the lens are the part. आत्ताच दाखवल्याप्रमाणे the part of the circle which forms the surface of the lens. त्यांचे centers of the sphere of which the part of that sphere forms the surface of the lens, that is called as center of curvature. Each lens, it has two center of curvatures because each surface of the two surfaces, it has both these two surfaces, they are the part of two different spheres, and therefore each lens, it has two center of curvatures, suppose C1 and C2. So that is nothing but center of curvature. The centers of the spheres whose parts forms the surface of the lens, that is called as center of curvature of the lens. The second is radius of curvature. Second is radius of curvature. As simple as the name radius is there. That means it is nothing but the radius of the spheres. It is nothing but the radius of the spheres whose parts forms the surfaces of the lens. ह्या दोन स्पियर्सची रेडियस ज्यांच्यापासून तो लेन्स तयार झालाय किंवा whose parts make the surfaces of the lens. The radius of the spheres whose parts forms the surfaces of the lens. That is nothing but radius of curvature. Then principal axis. What is principal axis? Third is principal axis. It is the imaginary line. What is principal axis? Principal axis, it is nothing but the imaginary line passing through two center of curvatures of the spheres, C1 and C2. A imaginary line which is passing through these two center of curvatures. This imaginary line, it is nothing but principal axis. It is nothing but the principal axis. Then optical center O. The fourth one is optical center O. What is the optical center? Optical center means it is the point on lens, or it is the point inside the lens on principal axis. So it is somewhat here. The point inside the lens on principal axis through which if the light passes, it travels through it without bending. That means without any deviation, without any change in direction. So the light passing through this point in any direction. Suppose this is the light which is traveling through it. Suppose the light ray PQ, it passes through this point and without deviation, without any change in direction, it passes through it. So suppose it is P dash and Q dash. It passes through it without any deviation. Then this point on principal axis inside the lens, it is called as optical center O. So as we see the optical center O for convex lens, similarly the optical center O is there on concave lens also. So all these different concepts that we are learning here, all they are true for concave lens also. Like center of curvature, it is also made up of two spheres. The center of the spheres whose parts make the surfaces of concave lens, that is nothing but center of curvatures. Like this, all these are true for concave lens also. So the next, it is principal focus. Fifth, मी हे मिटवतो. Principal focus. So the principal focus, it is different for two different types of lenses. So let us see what is principal focus and how it is calculated. This line must be principal axis which is passing through optical center O. Okay, so this is a convex lens. Light rays parallel to the principal axis, light rays parallel to the principal axis and incident on convex lens after refraction, it converges in a point, and this point is nothing but it is called as principal focus of convex lens. What is principal focus of convex lens? Light rays parallel to the principal axis after refraction through the lens passes through a point on principal axis. That point is called as principal focus of a convex lens. So let us see the similar concept for concave lens. Light rays parallel to the principal axis, after refraction they go away from each other by a concave lens. They go away from each other, but they appears to come from a point behind the lens, and that point is called as principal focus of concave lens. Look, convex lens, it converges the light rays which are passing through it. After refraction, it converges the light rays. It takes the light rays close to each other. They are coming near to each other, and therefore this type of lens, that means convex lens, it is also called as converging lens. And as the concave lens, it diverges the light rays which are passing through the lens. The light rays which are passing through the concave lens, they diverges, they go away from each other, and therefore this type of lens, that means concave lens, it is also called as diverging lens. So this region may ask into exams that the concave lens is called as diverging lens or convex lens is called as converging lens. The reason is that. So now once again let us see what is principal focus. Principal focus for convex lens: light rays parallel to the principal axis after refraction through the convex lens converges at a point on principal axis, and this is nothing but called as principal focus of convex lens. Now what is principal focus of concave lens? Light rays, again similar, light rays parallel to the principal axis falling on concave lens, whenever passing through concave lens, diverges from one another and it appears to come from a point behind the lens. It appears to come from a point behind the lens, and that point is nothing but principal focus F of concave lens. So this is about principal focus of concave and convex lens. Then what is focal length? Focal length, it is very simple. The distance between optical center O and principal focus. The distance between optical center O and principal focus, it is called as focal length of that particular lens. Here also, the distance between O, that means optical center O, and focus F, it is nothing but focal length of the particular lens. So this focal length, it is shown by small f. We can easily calculate the focal length by using simple experiment. साधा सोपा एक्सपेरिमेंट करून आपण फोकल लेंथ फाइंड आउट करू शकतो. Just try to make the image of a distant object on the screen. Let us try it. If we take a lens, convex lens, and the distant object, suppose we consider that distant object as the bulb which is present there, and try to make the image of that bulb on the screen. Make the fine image. You can easily see the fine image is formed on the screen. So that must be focus. And the distance between, now the distance between the lens and the focus, it must be the focal length. We can easily calculate the focal length by using simple experiment, this experiment. Because the light rays which are coming from distant object, that means the object which is at infinite distance. So the light rays coming from that infinite distance, they are always parallel to each other. And if these parallel light rays falls on a lens, they form fine image on focus. That means they converges at focus. Here in this experiment also, the light rays which are coming from that bulb, they get converges at a point by the converging lens. This is bifocal. This is biconvex lens. It is convex lens. So it must be the focus, and we can easily calculate the focal length by using this experiment. You can make the image of sun also. If we make the image of sun, the light rays, they are coming from the infinite distance, and whenever we get the fine image, then definitely that must be the focus of that convex lens. And the distance between the focus and optical center O, that means the lens, this distance must be the focal length. So by using this simple experiment, we can find out the focal length or focus of a given convex lens. So can we find the focus of a concave lens also by using similar experiment? No, definitely not. Why? Because concave lens is diverging lens, and it diverges the light rays coming from the light. No fine image we get here, because the light rays which are coming from the bulb, they get diverged. They are going away from each other, and therefore we cannot find out the focal length of a concave lens by using the similar experiment. So, and again, if we see the relation between the center of curvature and focus, then the focus, it is definitely at the center. That means the focal length, it is definitely half that of the center of curvature. If the center of curvature is 20 centimeter, then the focus must be at 10 centimeter. That means the focal length f must be 10 centimeter. So keep it in mind. It is very useful for you to draw the ray diagrams. In next period, we are going to study, or we actually perform the experiment to find out the ray diagrams, or to find out the image, where the image is formed of the object whenever the object is placed at distant or different distances from the lens. So we will stop here and we will see the image formation in the next video. Thank you very much.